Hello guys, Chubaz here, BUZZ Lakobi, and I'm really happy to be in your face today for a brand new series titled Book Reviews. So here in Book Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing some set of books so that you don't have to read them, or you should hurry up and read them. So for here, we're going to be having 4 books for every two weeks. That's fortnightly to 2 weeks. It's the same thing. So the first book that we have here is 25 Things You Need to Know Before You Are 25. A wonderful read by Manor. A very wonderful read. And it's forwarded by Elisha Mamam. In case you know Elisha Mamam very well, you should probably read this book. Yeah, so it's a very wonderful book, and it has 25 things that you need to know before you're 25. One of which is have a mentor, discover your purpose, value your time, value people, build network, build a character, all stuck in this book. If you haven't gotten a copy, find somewhere to get this copy. I think it's online. I think link will be in the description below. So the next book that we have is What God Thinks About Money. Get God's perspective about money. I think this is one of the best books that I've gotten on money. Biblical point of view about money. You know, it talks about a lot of things: tithing, sowing, sacrifice, your Isaac, right? And it breaks a lot of tables. One of the tables in which it breaks is the table that we need to be poor to go to heaven, or we have to be poor to be able to have some sort of holiness facade, which is totally not true according to Rob Thompson here. And it's a very wonderful book on prosperity. So prosperity is an internal recognition before it becomes an external possession. So you have to see it in your head first before it's in your hand. And it shows it vividly shows and explains a lot of scriptures that we have had in our minds concerning money and prosperity. One of the table again that it breaks is the fact that people think that Jesus was actually poor while he was on it, which is not entirely correct. And he drops a lot of scriptures to back his evidence and his thoughts and his patterns. It's a wonderful book, and you should get it. The next book I have here, speaking about money, is The Psychology of Money. I've heard a lot of people talking about this book, so I decided to get it and read it for myself to see whether it's worth the hype. And I can tell you, it's a long read, and it's worth the hype. It is worth the hype, to an extent, not entirely. I was really intrigued by the book. And if you're someone who loves the stock market, forex, and trading, and all those kind of things, you will love Psychology of Money. It not only tells you this perspective of how people talked about money in the past, but how people will think about money in the future. It speaks about savings, speaks about being a millionaire, how it is like being a billionaire, what it actually takes to be a millionaire. And one very interesting thing about what he says about becoming a millionaire is that it's not only on hard work, success, and being smart. One of which he says is being lucky, which in my own perspective, I would say is grace, the grace of God and God's hand upon your life to actually becoming wealthy. One very interesting thing he says about this book, which I would love you to read, is when most people say they want to be a millionaire, what they actually mean is, I'd like to spend $1,000,000. And that is literally the opposite of being a millionaire. Investor Bill Main once wrote, there is no faster way to feel rich than to spend lots of money on really nice things. But the way to be rich is to spend the money you have, and not to spend the money you don't have. It's really that simple. So the fastest way to not have money is to actually spend money. Then how do you then have the money if you don't spend the money? Which is everything he explains in this book, Psychology of Money. You should get the book. It's a little bit long, and to an extent it became boring to me. So yeah, you figure it out. So one very interesting book I read about relationship, I think that was last year, a bit this year, I forgot, is Manor, The Way Men Think, and it was written by Kingsley Okonkwo. If you know Kingsley Okonkwo very well, you will know that him and his wife are experts on the topic of relationship and marriage, and you should get this book. If you are a lady, if you are a guy, it's also recommended for you, but if you are a lady, I highly recommend this book for you. It's a very wonderful read, and talks about a lot of things. Talks about men in general, how men think, how men behave, why men do the things they do. So if you're a lady, you have to understand why your man is acting out. If he's doing this, if he's not calling, what does he want? One of the things that men want is their space. men want their space. So there are times in which the guy wants his space. I'm not really a relationship coach. You should read it to get to know more about why men want their space and what men want, and how you can actually offer yourself valuable to every man you come across. So that is basically the end of this episode. We reviewed 4 books, which is how we're doing every month. So do well to check these books out. If you have already, drop a comment below how any of the book has blessed you, or how you like the series. If you have any suggestion on which other book you want me to review, do well to leave it in the comment section below. And yes, if you haven't subscribed already, please do well to subscribe. YouTube tells me that 68% of you haven't subscribed already, which is very bad. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video.